Can one receive sacrament of matrimony twice? My quick answer is yes, only if a spouse dies. Nevertheless, an invalid marriage can be annulled. The next question would be, what is an invalid marriage? Why does the church annul marriages? Is annulment another name for divorce? These are tricky and sensitive questions, but my intention is to bring to awareness the process of the church. Divorce and annulment differ in two ways. One, divorce is a civil law decree by the state, whereas an annulment is a canon law decree by the church. Two, divorce basically say that what was once a marriage is no longer a marriage, while on the other hand, annulment says that what was thought to be a sacrament of matrimony never took place to begin with, basically meaning people lived in a marriage that never was. So, how does the church verify that the marriage never was? Are there reasons for annulment? Yes, a marriage to be valid must have three things. One, free consent. Two, the form. And lastly, with no impediments. On the issue of consent, for example, if someone argues that they were forced into marriage, whether by parents or by any other force, then that marriage is said to be invalid by lack of free consent. The second issue is that marriage lack form by two things. One, if one was civilly married, that is, either by state or in an non-Catholic rite, this means by someone without the faculty. Remember, not anybody can declare you a man and wife. And two, if it was cohabitation, that is, you only lived together, even if children were involved, then the church does not consider that as marriage at all. And the third part is about impediments. For example, one is underage, that is below age of reason. Two, impotence. You cannot pretend to enter into marriage if you are not able to fulfill marital commitment. Remember, marriage is not marriage until it's consummated. 3. You must not have married before. 4. If you caused the death of the spouse of a person you are entering into marriage with, that invalidates that marriage. 5. You cannot marry someone you are related with, either by adoption or by blood. 6. Marriage with a priest, a religious brother, or a religious sister, or with nuns is invalid. 7. If you abducted a person so that to contract marriage, that marriage is invalid unless the person is first separated from you for a while to make an informed consent. And lastly, intention. Those entering marriage must be aware it's a lifelong commitment. Faithfulness is essential, and it must be open to bearing children. So, the church's main reason for annulment is to declare that that marriage never was, or it was built on lies or deceit. Regardless, a couple may get married in a Catholic parish by a priest or a deacon and has every intention of entering a marriage, but other factors can greatly obstruct the validity anyway, unknowingly or unintentionally. Nevertheless, a marriage can never be declared invalid unless one party or both parties argue it to be convincingly to the authority of the church. This means a priest or a bishop cannot tell anyone that he or she is living in an invalid marriage. Lastly, if a person was married validly and then divorced, that person is considered bound by the former marriage and cannot enter another marital bond. Remember, what God has put together, no man should put asunder. Therefore, it's advisable before entering into any union, it's good to seek the counsel of the church. For the church is meant to help us in times of need and guide us into ways of salvation.